It's easier to walk up to someone and say, "I've seen your face before. Please, what's your name?" rather than say, "I know your name before. Please, what's your face?" And this is a simple system of visualization and association used by Nishant Kishbautla, who memorized a number consisting of 1,944 digits. He also memorized a deck of playing cards in less than 2 minutes. He also memorized a deck of 72 play cards in 60 minutes. He was also a grandmaster of memory, and he broke the Guinness World Record in memorizing the longest sequence of colors.
It's true that I broke a Guinness record in memory. It was also true that many years ago, I used to hold a world record in forgetting. It's not official. If you ask my mom and dad, they'll tell you I had a lousy memory. In fact, I still remember one of those days when my 15 years old, my mom asked me to buy something from the shop. I got onto my bicycle, went to the shop, parked my bicycle, went into the shop, and as I was going into the shop, I totally forgot I went there on a bicycle. Walked out of the shop and started walking back home. And the most embarrassing thing was I realized I left my bicycle only the next day. Now, for those of you wondering what happened to the bicycle, well, you guessed it, I lost it.
That was how much he forgot things. Now, what really was the game changer for him? It was nothing other than the input-output process. Too much input with low output results to low or shallow learning. So there is no point learning from something you really can't use. For true learning, you need to focus more on the output rather than the input. The input-output process comprises of 1. Learning. That's a place where we give attention to the quality of our inputs. Having in mind that the quality of inputs affects the quality of output, the learning process should actually be given rapt attention to maximize its benefit. One of the major factors that affects the quality of learning is multitasking. In this 21st century, the learning process has been greatly compromised by a lot of distractions, ranging from environmental to social media to family and friends, which makes us multitask. But for learning to be done properly, you need to learn one thing at a time, because the quality of your learning affects the quality of retention and recall. Next is reflection. Have you ever come in contact with some kind of friends who hand you over a book and they're like, "You really need to read this book"? You're like, "Oh wow, awesome, I will. But what did you get from this book when you read it?" And they're like, "You just need to read this book." You're like, "I sure will, but I want to really know, I want to have an idea of what my take home from this book will be." And they go, "The book is good, you just really need to read it." Now the fact is, what's the point in gaining knowledge you don't have a take home from, like a personal take home that applies to you? So whenever knowledge or learning takes place, there should always be a place to pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what might take home from this learning? Because reflection solidifies learning. The next is implementation. People learn, get inspired, get motivated, and move to learn new things and more new things, attend seminars, attend conferences, follow blogs, watch videos, but never get to implement all their learnings. A wise man once said, "A lousy action is better than no action at all." So for every knowledge acquired, there should be a place of reflection and a place of implementation, where you schedules in the calendar and take actions. So after learning, take time to write down the areas of your life that needs change and take deliberate steps towards accomplishing that change. The use of a calendar reminder might go a long way to help you.
Right, 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 right. That's it. Okay. So let's see if I can recall these numbers from my memory. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. The numbers are 71390562968 02103513816276500287.
And finally, share. The best way to learn something is to teach it, because it helps your brain to pay more attention to what has been learned. It is said that if you don't like the results you get, then you change what you do, and the results you get will automatically change. So to be more productive as to utilizing several knowledge acquired, you need to pay attention to the input-output process, which involves learning, reflection, implementation, and sharing. And not to forget that for true learning, you need to focus more on the output rather than the input. We'll see you next time.